was Sie wollen mit Matt und Julia? Ist das, was Sie wollen? Is this what you want?
Hello, everyone. It's another episode of the podcast that has all the allergies and none of the relief. Is this what you want? And our special guest is the Santa Ana winds blowing all the pollen into my face, nose, and my lungs. And also across from me is my co-host, Julia Ladkowitz.
Hi, it's me, Julia Ladkowitz. This is the podcast, Is This What You Want? And what we don't want is whatever is fucking with Matt's nose and face right now.
This is one of the worst days of my life. I hope that you're strapped in for... You can probably hear it in my voice. I probably sound like a fucking...
You do. You sound like you're underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt's really been sneezing and chuffing all day. And
chuffing, exactly.
Every 2 minutes I hear, kill me! And then a nose blowing. You took an allergy medication, which you never do because you don't like taking them.
I don't like pills, but I was like, if you offered me 2 pills, you're like, one could cure your allergies, one could kill you right now. I don't know which one I'd take.
Wow. Which
one did you give me? Did you give me the kill or the cure?
Well, you didn't ask for one or the other, so I just gave you the one that I felt was the most appropriate.
We should have a box of kill pills at all time.
Well, maybe for next year.
I think the allergy pill worked for about 20 minutes. I had about 20 minutes where I was feeling fine, 1999, and now I'm back to...
It's bad. The Santa Ana winds are blustering everything around, and we did have the windows open earlier because it's so... cold in our house, but it's warm outside, so we're like, okay, let's open the windows to let the warmth in, but then it lets all the pollens in. It's fucked.
Let all the fucking pollens in over here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I guess tomorrow let's learn from our mistakes today and not open the windows. I think that's a good one. I guess
we won't open the windows, but here's the thing. I have to go for a long run tomorrow, so I hope my nose and face don't get all fucked up.
I did also run past there's a lot of gardeners out today in our neighborhood, and I went for a run, and there was like a guy leaf blowing.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And he blew everything at me. Everything but the kitchen sink. A kitchen sink did go flying by.
Kitchen sink probably would have been better. You're not allergic to a kitchen sink.
I mean, technically we all are if it hits us hard enough.
Yeah, well, it's not that we're allergic to it. We're just dead by it.
That's a bad doctor. Oh, you're allergic to guns.
Yeah.
You seem to be having a reaction to guns and knives.
Yeah, you have a bad reaction when a piano falls from the sky onto you.
I can't play the piano. I'm allergic to pianos because one fell on me and I had a bad reaction. my whole body's flattened up. Yeah,
I'm just like a flattened pop can now. That's because I'm allergic to pianos.
Yeah, I would love to be flat, just for a little bit. Like when you get flat in like a cartoon, like those cartoons.
And then they just suddenly boing, they're fine.
They go whoop, 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 whoop. They sound like a saw when they go whoop, 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 and they go. That's nice. Just to have that happen once.
Yeah, it'd be nice if our bodies were just mushy and malleable and could just bounce back, you know?
If there is a heaven and you can do whatever you want there, that's one of my days. Flatten me out and pop me back up.
A painless flatten out.
I'll try pain first.
You want the pain of being flattened.
That'd be wild. Somebody, I wish I could credit this person. Somebody tweeted, they're like, those medieval stretching machines.
Yeah.
Like torture where they stretch you out. They're like, yeah, you're going to be pulled apart, but there's probably a second where it feels real nice for a second.
Real good, yeah.
You're like, the relief, and then your arms just get ripped off.
Well, we were talking about stretching because I went to... We have this rental car now because we talked about how our window got smashed in. And so the rental car is huge compared to what I'm used to.
But it's not. It's a Toyota Corolla, but it is huge and regular size at the same time.
It's the ass on this thing is massive. And I'm not used to a gas car. It has so much pep. So
gas and ass.
It's all gas and ass. So Matt drove me to Pilates one day because I'm like, I just don't feel like driving this monstrosity. But as we're driving, Matt's like, hey, what's this Pilates class called again? Stretchums? And I laughed so hard at a Pilates class called Stretchums. But it reminds me, because it's on the reformer machines, and it reminds me sometimes of those like medieval stretch things. And at the end where you just put your feet in like these like stirrups and oh God, at the very end, I'm doing my stretchums, and then the word stretchums comes to mind, and then I almost burst out into the most crazy laugh.
You can't
And
explain what you're laughing at.
I can't be
too.
like, my husband calls it stretchums.
He thought this place was called Stretchums, and they'd be like, "You need to leave." What is the name of the place? I feel like Pilates places have to be called like a Feather's Touch.
No, it's just called Club Pilates.
Okay, wow. Maybe I'm thinking of like cafes.
Yeah.
What's the average Pilates place called?
Well, there's like Pilates. There's a lot of like intense Pilates and yoga places, like Core Power Yoga, Club Pilates, Pilates by Penelope. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Penelope's Pilates.
She probably was like, my name begins with a P. I better get into a job that begins with a P.
Exactly. Or
Police officer or Pilates
If your name's
officer.
Penelope and you open your own Pilates studio, you call it Pilatipes.
Pilatipes. Sounds like you're like selling peas and platypuses.
Pilatipes. We sell a lot of platypuses and a lot of peas.
A lot of peas and a lot of. It's a store that is in L.A.
Platypus is doing Pilates while eating peas.
Are you allowed to have a platypus in America? Because those are only in Australia.
Yeah, I don't think you can like, sneak a contraband platypus over the fucking.
Yeah, I don't even know
border.
if I've seen one at a zoo. I think they only exist in Australia.
Those are the things with like the weird like duck bills,
They got
right?
a duck bill and they lay eggs, but they look like an otter kind of. And they have. I only know this because I did a project on one back in I think it was like grade 6.
Yeah.
They have like a poisonous barb as well. A little needle spike on them that, it's quite poisonous. But they lay eggs and they got a duck-billed platypus.
Well, how neat.
Yeah. So
yeah.
now we know that.
So now we do know that. And by the way, everybody, it's Chappy Hour.
Sure it is. The only happy hour dedicated to the worst robot movie of all time that Julia has not seen yet.
Which, by the way, so I flew to Seattle this past weekend and I was on a Delta flight, and goddamn, Delta has some options. There were so many movies and so many like old deep cuts too. So I'm like, I'm gonna find Chappie, but there was no Chappie.
No Chappie. I think he's getting phased out of society. I think enough people have had it. People have had enough.
I think in a few years we'll be a Chapless society. It'll
Yeah.
be like Chappie never existed.
There are certain movies and video games and whatnot that are becoming extinct because they're just not on streaming and they exist in DVD only, and those DVDs are hard to find. Like that, what's that Dave Foley movie from Canada, The Wrong Guy?
Oh yeah, we were trying desperately to find that. We could not.
You cannot
You can't even
find
like
it.
buy it online.
You need to go on eBay and get like a physical copy or something.
Same with the show Las Vegas.
Yeah, can't find it.
Not like Las Vegas CSI or SVU or any of that shit, but the show Las Vegas with James Caan and Molly whatever, she's like a model. Because the other day we were getting a real hankering for just like Vegas vibes, and I'm like, I just want something set in a casino, and you can't find it. So if
Yeah.
you know where to find Las Vegas, the show, I used to watch it as like a teen.
Now you'd have to go to like a Value Village or like a Goodwill and just rustle about in the DVDs. And
Yeah.
I used to poo-poo those people that collected VHS and DVDs. Like, what's the point? It's all out there. Guess what? Some's not.
Well, it's the
and
same
they're
thing
winning.
with, our camera. My mom always used to get mad when like digital cameras came out. She's like, digital cameras. Like, and yeah, I never got a hard copy of things anymore. I'm like, but yeah, you can get them anytime. And it's like, well, yeah, but when? And if you lose your file or the backup when the cloud fucks up,
Yeah.
then you're fucked.
When the sun shoots out an EMP and destroys all technology.
Is that going to happen?
I don't know. It could. It's possible.
What does EMP?
Electronic magnetic pulse. And that's a big EMP blast. That's what they say, because everyone's like talking about nukes and stuff. That's how they say people will probably nuke other countries. They blast it in the like high up in the atmosphere, because nuclear bombs have an EMP. This is a very, I hope, a relaxing podcast to you. And they release EMPs, nukes, and then so that would just knock out all the technology of whatever they blew up near.
I don't like this.
And then we can finally be free. How quickly after technology fails and the grid goes down are you building stuff out of like sticks and wood? Probably pretty quick. I'm
Just
building,
because
like,
I'm bored or for like protection?
I
or
don't
both?
know. Well, that's the thing. Especially when it's so dark and you're just like, well, I got to build a fire and probably some sort of like, whenever there's no technology in movies, there's always just like a log spiky fence around a property.
Yeah, like that's going to stop them.
I don't know. Gonna set up some traps. A moat even.
Yeah, we'll just set up a quick moat in the dark
Yeah.
with, we'll just use our shitty Wayfair couch to build some sort of a makeshift moat.
Drawbridge? Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, speaking of Chappy Hour, we are chapping something crazy. I don't think we've ever chapped this for Chappy Hour.
Probably have.
I don't think we have.
Really?
We're chapping a mint tea.
Having a mint tea. Why
Having a
not?
mint tea with a little snizz of honey in there.
It's hard to say mint tea because people are like, "What's minty?" You're like, "No, it's mint tea."
Tea.
Minty what? Mint tea. It's a who's on first situation.
Yeah, mint tea. It's a lovely mint tea. We both had some stressful, weird little days today. And also it's my birthday, November 14th. We're going to New Orleans on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just trying to take it easy
for a bit.
literally one day of our friggin' lives.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gone too hard. We went to I guess you could call it a concert the other night. It's called Choir, and they're actually from Toronto. And I just found out that, I knew one of them because it's two guys, and then the other guy, I guess I know as well. He follows me on Instagram, and we got to hang out.
How cute!
And it was very cute. But we got pretty tuned up that night, and a classic Julia tuned where it was like we came home and we put on the baking show, and I was like enjoying it, having a laugh, riffing on it, and I look over and she's just passed right out.
Listen, I had just come off a very hectic weekend in Seattle where I did so many shows and long shows too. I headlined 5 shows, and then I did a secret show somewhere else. I was talking for 6 hours.
It's a lot. It's a lot when you come off a weekend. I get it.
It was insane.
No judgment.
And what'd you call me?
I said no judgment.
Oh yeah.
What'd you call me?
So yeah, and then on Sunday I came back and we had some wine because obviously we had to catch up on our shows and have some wine. Yeah. And then Monday we went out, and then it's been go, and I just need a moment to relax with my mint tea.
That's what mint tea's there for. Hey, You've been drinking too much? Have a mint tea. Welcome to mint tea. It tastes like you're brushing your teeth, but you're drinking it.
We love to drink
your teeth brushing. You like toothpaste? Well, it's not as strong, but it's pretty close.
It's hot toothpaste.
It's like a cup of gum.
Cup of gum.
Cup of cum?
Cup of gum.
Yes. That's another mint tea situation. No, mint tea's great. It's isn't that something? I know a lot of our friends that have been alcoholics and then they go to recover and then they drink a lot of mint tea.
I love mint tea. People fuck with tea
because it's got a bit of a zip to it and doesn't have any caffeine. It doesn't, fuck you up.
I think mint tea is also just delicious. It's very tasty, and also you can't be zipped up on caffeine all the time. So you need naturally decaffeinated options in a mint tea. I'll take mint tea over chamomile any day.
Yeah,
chamomile.
Chamomile
tea tastes like you're drinking sleep.
A little bit. Yeah, I get that.
It's like you're in a meadow and you're like, some smells not like flowers, a bit off, and I'm tired. I guess that's what it tastes like.
Yeah, you're drinking a handful of field.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just chucked it in some hot water and they're like, drink this.
Drink the field, you little bitch.
That's always those those medieval type movies where there's a witch and they just throw a bunch of weeds and stuff in a bunch of hot water. And they're like, drink it. And I'm always like, what does it taste like? Describe the taste.
And it's always the sketchiest witch, too. It's like, come on, do it. Yes. And I'm like, why are you trusting this sketchy-ass fucking witch? And they're like, and then something goes terribly wrong. And they're like, why did I trust that crazy person?
The number one movie drink, and we watched this the other night because I always think about it when I drink IPAs, is in the movie Hook, when they're imagining the giant dinner, and then I forget what he calls it, but this kid gives a drink to Peter Pan, and he's like, drink your Bumbaclot or something.
Yeah, drink your Bumbaclot.
But it's like an orangey, it looks like IPA, and he has a big milky mustache, a foamy mustache from it, and he says Bangarang, but it looks so good. It's thick and almost milkshakey. I'm like, what is that, man? What was he drinking? I need to know. I should research.
I mean, it's probably nothing. It was probably just, it almost looked like an orange float or something that had been blended up.
It did. I used to drink a lot of floats as a kid. I loved a float. Yeah, I liked float. Root beer floats. Cream soda floats? Oh, god damn.
I like the idea of an orange float, with Orange Crush.
Yeah. I I just can't get into ice cream anymore. It rocks my body. Gonna rock your body and make you shit.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, I just want a milkshake.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'll die.
I was thinking about that because I think the last full milkshake I had, that's a lie, but one of the worst ones was an old comic. We just moved here and we went to Big Boy, that like burger joint.
Uh-huh.
Remember in Austin Powers when Dr. Evil shoots up into space in a Big Boy?
Yes.
Yeah. We went to that restaurant. It's in Burbank. And I just had dinner. So I was like, I'll get a milkshake. They specialize in milkshakes. I had a milkshake and then I was hot farting the whole night. Like vapor, hot furnace.
All right. That's enough of this.
It was, and I had
like
to go to a show.
one podcast where we don't
No, I had to go to a show. It
talk
was
about
bad.
the poo-poos and the pee-pees.
That was the second worst. The first worst hot fart time was when I had shawarma for the first time and I worked at MTV Live.
Oh, yeah.
And I cleared out.
Didn't they ask you to go home?
I cleared out the set. I was like working behind the camera and they're like, it stinks. And I'm like, this is the worst I've ever smelled.
Because it does, when you're not used to foods like that, it does take your body a moment to acclimate. So that's when people are like, beans make me fart. It's like, well, yes, everybody processes beans and legumes differently, but it's probably an indication that you're not eating enough of them because the more you eat them, the more your body knows what to do with them.
That's right. But that was my first shawarma experience. I didn't even know what shawarma was until that day. It was crazy. And I ate it so fast and I loved it. But then I had to go get Beano at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah.
Which is always an embarrassing. Like, I mean, compared to like condoms or Beano's more embarrassing.
If you're buying like Beano and condoms.
What are you doing? Are you going to fart in those condoms and throw them at your friends? Probably. If someone threw a condom full of farts at me,
oh, that would be the end of that friendship.
that's it. I'm not going out that day.
I saw this because I follow a lot of food accounts, or I look at a lot of food reels, so it's always like, hey, look at this asshole. And there was this guy, and he has like a bunch of followers, but it's like he's just this nerdy looking white guy, and he eats things kind of like for the first time. And he's like, my first time having Indian food, and he's eating Indian food in his car.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen this guy.
And he eats like the naan bread, and he's like, this is maybe the best bread I've ever had. And then he dips it in the butter chicken sauce, and it's like his head explodes.
Yeah.
I was like, how have you never? But I was so happy for him.
I wonder how real those things are.
I know.
First time experiences on video. There was those two kids that were like, this is their first time listening to Billy Joel, and they're like 15 or something.
Yeah.
And there's like, okay. And just, I'm like, is it really your first time? You didn't sample it before?
Yeah, or you listen to it and you're like, wow, this Billy Joel really slaps. I bet
Yeah.
people will get a kick out of it if we really, I don't know.
There's a lot of dumb videos out there.
I don't know what's truth and what's a lie anymore. But the truth is, sometimes I feel really warm and fuzzy, and it's almost like I want to talk about it.
Okay.
So
I
now
guess
here's our segment.
this is a segment called Warm and Fuzzy.
Suppose it is.
Suppose.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go. So yeah, I just got back from Seattle. And if you listened last week, you'll know that I was a bit nervous because it was officially like my first American headline club headline week, like full week.
Yeah.
Or full weekend. And I was worried about numbers because I'd heard they'd been light in the past, but I worked really hard on promo, and it was such a fun weekend. The show was really good. The early show on both nights was almost sold out, and it seats like 190.
Hell yeah.
So there was just like a few seats left. Both late shows were like probably like half full, but still so fun. And the amount of people who came up to me after and took pictures and bought merch, and all the staff was nice.
Does it smell like a comedy club there? Every comedy club
Every comedy club kind of has a smell.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say that I loved,
Like a wet movie theater.
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Their bathroom.
Oh yeah.
It's like my joke. Their bathroom blasts music,
Perfect.
and it is comically loud, but I love it.
Do they blast the comedians while the show's happening? Did you notice that? I hate comedy clubs that do that.
No.
I mean, I get it. You don't want to miss some of the show. But then I picked like Yuck Yucks in Toronto does that. And I'm just picturing my jokes going right to the toilet. And I'm like, well, that's where they belong.
No toilet, no toilet jokes. But yeah, the whole weekend was so fun, and it was a lot of, I mean, people literally from like every age and whatever coming up to me after, and just different walks of life, and really enjoying the show, but specifically a
When you
lot
say
of
different walks of life, I'm picturing like a doctor, a
Yeah.
firefighter,
Yeah.
a mailman, a repair guy, a train operator.
Yeah.
We're all from different walks of life. We quite enjoyed your toilet humor.
Wow, I'm more than just toilet humor.
You are Mrs. Toilet.
But it was yeah, and a lot of young women who were just
Yeah.
like genuinely so like, oh my god, can we be your best friend? We love you. It was really nice, and I sold well, so I got there's different tiers of the bonus, but I hit part of my bonus, which felt really good.
That's
And
good. The Clark
yeah.
Griswold Christmas bonus. We're buying a pool.
yeah, we're gonna buy
$500 pool.
yeah.
We
It was just
We could.
nice.
There's an inflatable hot tub
We're
at
not-
Costco for $300. Was it 300? I think it was 300.
I think it's 300 online, but I saw it in stores the other day and it was 500.
Sometimes their stuff is more expensive in stores, and I don't know how they get away with that. I guess because they're like, it's here.
Yeah, it's
We-
same with Old Navy.
We shipped it. Is that true? God damn.
Old Navy on the website, hot tip. If you go on the website, they're always having deals.
That's
and yeah,
wild.
sometimes in store they will too, but
Because you get it right from the big stinky warehouse.
yeah, you cut out the middleman and it just rockets right into your asshole.
Yep, that's what I do with my Old Navy stuff. I shove it right in my ass. I would be walking around town with a T-shirt dangling out of my ass like a tail.
Yeah, that's the
That's
Old Navy way.
for it. That's the Old Navy way.
But yeah, Seattle, just a beautiful little weekend. Got to see my friend Monica Nevi. I was on her podcast called Dumb Pitches. So stay tuned for that. And it was just, I had a nice fucking time. Matt, what was your warm and fuzzy?
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. Well, while you were gone, I mean, let me tell you, I had basically a week and a day or two of no stand-up. I didn't do almost anything.
No.
And I think I needed it, which was nice. I feel like I really reset. And I came back this week to do shows, and I do feel much better. Because I sometimes as a comedian, you really hit a wall where you're just like, I hate all my jokes. I hate all jokes. I hate stand-up. And I hate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what happens. And I was approaching that mode. And it's nice to recognize where you need to step back and just sit and meditate. And, I realized some things. I haven't executed this one yet, but I'm like, I was literally laying on the rug listening to like classic rock with the dog very high at like 10 p.m. And I'm like, I should start like punching in for work. I should start treating this like a job. Like I should start because I was just like, what am I lacking right now? I'm like, structure in my day.
Yeah.
And that thought alone made me feel good. I have not executed it, but I will.
Even though you didn't physically punch in for work today, you were doing a lot of work today.
I do a lot of work, but I would like to monitor it more. So at least I've recognized that, and I'm kind of working on that. I guess my big warm and fuzzy last night was really nice.
Yeah.
I was on one of the better shows in Los Angeles called Hot Tub. It's Kristen Schaal and Kurt Braunohler run it. Two absolute legends.
Two friggin' cutie patooties.
Yeah,
So funny.
which is funny because we just saw Kristen Schaal on that show that we're watching, Our Flag Means Death. That's
So funny,
we're
by the
enjoying as
way.
well. And yeah, it was just really nice it was just a packed outdoor show. Everyone was super friendly. Everyone was funny.
I was like laughing at everybody. I was
Yeah.
having a nice time. It was just like good vibes and energy. And you did a lot of new stuff, and it
Yeah.
was like working. It was
New
nice.
stuff is working, and that just makes you feel real good. That is the gamble of stand-up comedy when you're just chasing that high of
That
something
new joke high. Yeah.
Because that's what sucks the most is when you do jokes for even a year, couple years, and you're just like, oh well, I have nothing else. There's that constant fear in me that I'm just like, I will never write anything else funnier than what I just wrote.
Yeah.
And it's stupid because yes, I have written other funny things, and it'll continue for the rest of my life, I'm sure. But it's always a fear. But last night felt real nice, and also there's a new season of the Great British Baking Show, and
It's the best. It's exactly what we need right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot. I missed it. I missed it.
I really missed it. It feels I feel like a puzzle piece has been put into place every day. I'm just like, whatever happens in the day, I'm gonna soft land right into Paul Hollywood's big old belly, and
His
just
Joey
rest there.
Center. It's roll.
He is a soft man, but he hides it well in his shirts.
He's looking real sturdy, and it's just what I need. The sturdier Paul is, the sturdier I am.
And Prue is there, and there's a new host, and she's the best.
Oh my God, she's the best.
Allison Hammond, I think her name is.
Comedian
Yeah.
from the UK.
Yeah.
Millions of followers. Yeah. Well, that's Matt. That's so warm. Okay, wait. That's really warm and fuzzy of you. Can I tell you one of my fears really quickly before we get into Well, That Was Stupid?
Oh my God, fears.
Okay, well, fears. So you were talking about like writing new material and whatever, and you're like, will I ever write anything, whatever. I often feel, because we both experience a lot of the same things, then you will write a joke about it, which is, of course, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, well, I can't now, or that angle I was kind of thinking, like, I feel like you're better at is immediately something happens, you're like, I'm going to make a joke out of it, where I need to like time to marinate on it first. And then I'm like, oh, well, I can't talk about that experience anymore.
I see.
And
You're talking about the window smash thing?
Yeah, or just that's as an example. But there's been like a lot of things in the past where I'm like, oh, I feel like I can't.
I think you can just put your own spin on it.
I know, but then when you hear someone else's joke, you're like, well, that's all that's in there now, and you can't like get out of it.
It's tough. I know. I purposely did it with our window smash because I'm like, I need to capitalize on this as much as possible. It's crazy that was one of my top 3 thoughts after that happened to us. Our window gets smashed, and I'm like, God damn it. We're going to pay for this. I don't know if this is covered. I got to write a joke about this. And I just mentally, my brain activated to soak in every detail of everything that was happening. And yeah, I guess that's just how I function. But
well, I guess I have to start calling topics.
Yeah, call topics. It's when some emergency happens.
Yeah,
this is mine.
Yeah, dibs on losing your leg.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I lose my leg or you lose your
know.
leg, I don't know. Either way, yeah. That's
anyway. It just is a little something that came to mind. But okay. I know we often talk about like a little news, something, we just pepper it in what's going on so we don't just talk about ourselves. And I swear to God, I Googled funny news this week because I just wanted something like more uplifting.
Clown jerks off on Subway.
Well, basically.
Oh, no.
No, it was just the first thing. I don't know why it brought me to like NPR news, which is usually not funny at all. But it's like Colorado funeral home owners arrested following the discovery of 190 decaying bodies.
In a funeral home?
Yeah.
They just chucked them in the basement and they're like, we'll deal with them later?
Yeah, it's like, ew, after receiving reports of an abhorrent smell.
Ew, you can smell it from the street? That's
money
bad.
laundering and the abuse of a corpse. Oh, God.
You ever farted so hard that you're like, I hope no one on the street could smell this? Ever in your life?
The street?
I hope no one on the street can smell this.
Like, how close are they to you, though?
Like far. But you're still like, it could drift. That's a harsh smell. If someone is like, there's a smell coming from that funeral home. That
means, it's 190 decaying bodies. Guess what? One decaying body would stink.
That's a lot of people. That's like a full, that's almost 200.
Australian police charge a woman with 3 murders and alleged mushroom poisoning.
I don't know if these are the stories.
No, these are, I wanted something. Oh, there's the funeral story again. Scientists are reanimating spider corpses for research.
What algorithm are you on right now?
I don't know, but this is what they're like. This is what I think is funny.
I do not need the spiders that I killed to be reanimated and come after me.
Yeah, for what research? Just to see if they like
remember?
Yeah, they remember their killers.
I've really given them hell.
Their deaths, like
that's the thing. They all were in the toilet, so they're going to come crawling up the toilet right into my anus.
Oh, and they're going to be so wet and so mad.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to be missing a few legs, I would hope. Or those spiders that I vacuumed too. They just get sloshed around and then dumped in the lawn. Oh, boy. Those ones are going to be extra pissed. Oh, when I die, I hope I don't have to deal with all the spiders I killed. That's I think about that every day.
Maybe that's what hell is, or maybe that's what purgatory is. It's
each
like,
day you have to fight one of the spiders you killed.
Or one of the bugs you killed, one of the ants you stepped on.
That would be terrible. Yeah, in order to get to heaven, I have to redeem myself. I have to explain to every insect why I killed it and apologize and get it to accept my apology.
Okay. So if you go to hell, you're just like straight to hell. So in this scenario, if you go to hell, you just day after day have to fight life, like human-sized bugs of the ones you
that
killed.
I killed. Yeah.
And that's just, you're in hell. So every day you're like, well, I'm going to fight this praying
There's no
mantis or
sleep.
something.
There's no bathroom breaks.
No. You're just fighting
Maybe
bugs.
you get a glass of water every couple hours
Sure.
because it's hot
But
down
then
there.
purgatory, where not purgatory. What's the one in between heaven
Purgatory.
and hell? It's purgatory?
Yeah.
Okay. Where it's
Purg, man.
like, where they're like deciding where you're going to go.
Yeah.
So then you have a nice little sit down with all the bugs, and you're like, look.
Yeah, we have a nice tea or a sugar water, whatever. If it's an ant, and that's the thing. I've killed a lot of ants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not the traps have killed them. Did I activate the traps? Sure.
Yeah, that's like saying
didn't
the
force them
gun
in
killed
there.
them. I'm a gun manufacturer. I get that is an argument that I've seen in The Good Wife.
I
They're
don't
like, I
kill
manufacture
ants.
the guns. I don't pull the trigger.
Yeah, that's right. I don't kill ants. Traps kill ants. I just happen to put this thing that someone made in my house and open it.
But you knowingly did it because you knew what the traps would do.
It's the same as opening a liquor store, and you're like, oh, I opened a liquor store here, and listen, these people know that booze is bad, and whatever happens to them, that's not on me. I'm just trying to live my life.
Exactly. So you know booze in this scenario is bad, and you're taking the booze in your home. That is the liquor store owner is not bringing booze to your home and opening it and putting it under your nose.
Not yet.
Not pouring it down your gullet.
Not yet. Soon enough, though. That's the world I want to live in. What if ants want to die and I was helping them out? What if they're scavenging around? They're just like, "Oh, what can fucking
Just
kill me today?
Well,
kill me.
Guess
And
what?
then-
That's probably why they're reanimating spiders to be like, hey, did you want to die?
Yeah, they
Yes.
go, no, I want to live. And then they're just surfing in Hawaii
That sounds fun.
on a bunch of surfboards because they have 8 legs.
They're surfing on 8 tiny surfboards?
Yep.
Oh, that's so cute.
Has anyone made that? Surf spiders? I don't.
Oh my God, giant surf spiders.
Yeah. That's the movie. That's the show.
Also a movie where you just have to fight the bugs you killed. That's pretty cool.
That's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Should we do? I mean, we can wrap
'Kay.
this up anytime because I gotta fucking
Yeah.
drive to goddamn Marina Del Rey.
We're going to end with a, well, that was stupid.
Well,
that was stupid. And I feel like it's
It's for sure the first. We have the same one.
That was stupid. Okay, the craziest. Okay. Pause for that was stupid. There we go.
Yeah, that's fine. We got
All
it.
right. The craziest thing happened this morning. So Matt and I woke up and we both took the dog for a walk as we do in the morning. Just a cute little morning walk. And I was genuinely having the nicest time on this walk.
Yeah, beautiful
Like,
walk.
We were having a great time. And then I started talking about an article I read about like former like directors and actors like back in like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s who were just absolute shitheads. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, it's awful. And then Matt's like, yeah, everybody forgets about Johnny Carson. And we started talking about Johnny Carson. I didn't realize that he like held a gun to his ex-wife or something.
So, I got to read the story. I should have researched this more, but something about him finding his wife with somebody else, I think, and he pulled a gun on them and he was freaking out and having a mental breakdown. And then we were also like, oh man, Johnny Carson's shows were used to be like 3 hours long just because there was nothing else on. And
There was
you
no
just
other programming
Keep
on.
going. And then as we're talking about this, we walk by our neighbor, not the shitty neighbor, the neighbor on the other side.
Neighbor on the other side. And by the way, when we're having this conversation about Johnny Carson and all this, we're like, you know, like a quarter of a block away from him. We kind of
Yeah.
see him in his car.
He's sitting in his car, and then we walk by, and he goes,
And we say hi.
yeah, we say hi, and he looks at us from the window. He goes, what did he even say? He's like,
He's like, if you got something to say it to my face.
yeah.
And I instinctually, I'm like, oh, it's a joke. So I go into my joke stance about to say some jokey remark.
Yeah, which
back.
is like a semi-deep lunge, widespread. you look like a dog that was about to play fetch.
like, or I come out like a person like, haha, like I surprised you. So I'm about to do that, and then I see his eyes, and he's like, you got something to say it to my face. And we're like,
whoa,
what is
boy.
happening?
And then we're like, what? He goes, I saw you over there staring and talking shit about me. And we're like, I can't stress enough how much we were not talking about you. I don't know where this guy's never been like this to us. It's like a
he was just like
psychotic
sitting
episode.
in his car waiting for us, and Matt's like, oh no, we're just talking.
I was
and
like,
then
yeah, we were just talking, and he was just like, he's like, I saw you there talking shit, and I'm like, hey man, we have zero problem with you, and he goes, oh, okay, sorry, and then that was it, and then he drove away. I'm like, what a fucking
was
crazy
so
interaction.
confused. And also I was like, he's like, yeah, you were just staring from over there talking about me. And we're like, first of all, I'm like, I can't even see like the way that the sun was on. I'm like, it's
Yeah.
like tinted windows, and I'm like, we were just waiting over here to once we passed to say hi. We're like, oh, that's probably Kevin, and then he drove away, and I was like, we were talking about Johnny Carson. I'm so confused. Like,
it literally ruined my day. I'm thinking about it all day. It's like you gotta let that kind of stuff go. I can't. I dwelled on it all day. I dwelled on it absolutely all day. Still dwelling on it right now. It really, you know what it did? It reminded me of shithead guys at bars that wanted to start shit for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And it gave me, again, PTSD for, I remember there was a time in Peterborough, Ontario, this fucking town I lived in. I was waiting for a hot dog one time. And and I remember I was talking to the hot dog guy and I was like, oh, I'll just have mustard. And I was like, do you have relish? And then some guy behind me shoves me. He goes, what the fuck did you say to him? I was like, oh, I was just asking if he had relish. And then this guy punched me in the face. And then he pushed me down and started like punching the shit out of my body. And then I get up and I'm like, what the hell was that? And he goes, yeah, you fucking remember this, you piece of shit. And then everyone in the line was like, do you know that guy? And I'm like, no.
he probably overheard something else also, or he was just looking to fight or something. That's the thing. I'm like, to our neighbor, he probably hear us now. I'm like, he probably something happened and he's on a fight with someone else or whatever, and he was just waiting to take it out on us. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stress enough how we're just
Existing.
literally just
existing
in our neighborhood and standing, and
That's what pissed me
hate
off.
it.
That's what pissed me off the most. Is I'm like, this is an area for, it's a nice quiet area. I shouldn't have to feel weird walking around. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it started as the day went on. I was like, it really pissed me off. I'm just like, this guy just ruined because he's having a fucking bad day. Like, it's just so annoying.
It's just strange because it goes to show you can do everything in your power. Because I've always been the people pleaser. I don't want to upset anybody. But then lately I feel like I've been upsetting people and whatever. I'm like, okay, if only I'd watched myself a little bit more in this way or checked myself before I spoke or whatever. I could have avoided all these things. But you do that and you're literally just walking down your street. And so I guess it's a good lesson. It's most of the time it's someone else's bullshit, not you. But
Absolutely.
you can't.
This was 100%.
It affects me though.
Yeah,
It still affects me. I'm still a human, especially because we were having such a lovely conversation. I was just thinking about like a 3-hour-long Johnny Carson like taping where everybody's just kind of like buzzed and it's like
having
the
a
old
nice time.
having a nice time.
It's also crazy the timing of it because the window smash in our car, and I literally, my thought, I remember I told you, I was like, I guarantee it was because of my mustache and I just have a look on me that some people just fucking hate.
Yeah.
And I started using that as one of my new jokes and it's working on stage. And guess what? It's reverberating through the energy of the Santa Ana winds because it's still happening.
Yeah, maybe you're putting it out there, but
putting it out there. I don't
guess
know.
what? I'm putting it out there that we don't. Julia Ladquitz and Matt O'Brien don't take no shit. So quit coming at us. We're trying to be nice.
Don't go at someone for no reason. If you're having a bad day, don't bring a stranger or a quiet neighbor into it. Take some time to yourself and figure it out because you could also just ruin their day.
Because everybody's got problems, man.
We're all going through
I
shit.
got some big fucking problems.
Yeah.
Stop making it more problematic for me.
We'll see. I'm hoping he apologizes.
He
for
won't.
it. I don't think he will, but I was just picturing me. First of all, I would go the whole day. I'd be like, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
If I yelled at his family, I'd be like, oh boy, maybe he's processing it, but I'd feel like shit. And probably the next day I might go over and be like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like, hey, that was weird. I totally misread the situation.
Because it's not like I'm not going to see him again. He's a wall away right now.
I don't want to talk to this man anymore.
Yeah.
God, we're losing neighbors on either side.
I know.
At least we have Anthony. We love Anthony.
He's good. He's a
And you
good
know what
guy.
else we love? I'm making baked beans. They've been in the crock pot all day, and ooh,
We're gonna get beamed up, and I'm gonna go to a show tonight. I'm just gonna
fart the night away.
Fucking fart the night away. I need to blow my nose as well. Where can people find you online?
Find me online, Julia Comedy on Instagram, Julia Comedian on Facebook. Matt, where can they find you?
It's Matt O'Brien on Instagram. That's the only one that matters. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll let you know if everything's all right. Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine.
Everything's gonna be fine. Just be nice to each other and to yourselves. Ta-ta. Bye.
this what you want with Matt and Julia? Is this what you want?